Yeah, I thought we was gonna be late, huh?
We kind of was late a little bit.
It was only by like a minute, huh?
Hey,
Well,
we on time though. It's 9:47. It don't even matter.
y'all know why we here. Pelicans draft is over with. Time for reactions, rumors, concerns, questions. Missy, Reeves, Propels talk now.
First took away. Dance with this. Get your money's worth now.
Hey, that was good, Chris. That's
You like
good,
that?
man. Yeah. All right.
Welcome to another episode of Propels Talk here, brought to you by Scott Vicknair, Crystal Hot Sauce Company Burger. You name it, we got it. You'll be sure to be hearing a good, a word from pretty much all of those folks, at some point here later on in the show. But we are here to break down film, bring people up, distract y'all from presidential debate that I believe should be ending now, or you would say probably ended before it started. Lito, how you feeling, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm I seen a lot of discord about the pick and
Which one?
Missy. I didn't see too
Yeah.
many people upset with Antonio. Like I think they was good. First of all, I believe in any guard Kentucky puts out. So that's just me. But Missy, man, I think the main reason why people here is because you read a lot of things, you saw some things. It was some reactions that we kind of here to talk about. We kind of break down, what we think and versus what we see. Look, we just go let the film talk. Actually, it's not even what we think. It's what the film says. So, how you? First of all, I guess before we get into anything, how do you feel about the pick? Like, how do you feel? Do you think it was a good pick? Do you think the Pelicans were like on brand with this, or like I know we all had players we potentially wanted them to draft, right? But
Mm-hmm.
like in the grand scheme of things, like was this a good pick for you?
I mean, look, man. I mean, I think anytime you picking at 21, specifically if you think it's a bad draft, you kind of, you swinging for the fences more times than not anyway. You trying to find somebody that in an NBA draft that someone slept on anyway. It's crazy that we even in an age and a day and age where the NBA draft or the NBA thinks that they are worthy of splitting their draft up in 2 days. And they use the worst draft. They use the worst draft class in forever to decide to do that with. But yeah, I would even say beyond needing a filling in a need, because it's not like he's going to be the only center that they have once training camp starts and everything. But I think, look, he's something that we've been asking for, at least the idea of. It's
Yeah,
just a matter of if you think he can develop into it or not. We've
yeah,
been
yeah,
talking about a rim protector. We've been talking about a lob threat. Well, you ain't really seen that develop in New Orleans. Now, you could question if it's gonna develop or not. I understand he's very limited in what he could bring and what he can bring you out the gate. He might not play, many minutes early on, but if you believe that he knows exactly what he's going to have to be in translating into the next level, I think it was worthy of the pick. Might not have been my pick, might not have been, if I was in charge, but I like the fact that the upside is there. He comes from a solid school and in Baylor. His background is what it is, but he seems to have a motor. And what he did in college is going to be exactly what he's asked to do at a higher level in the NBA. So you can just build off of what you have been working on in your limited time of playing basketball. So I'm cool with the pick.
So look, let me ask you this before we actually get into the film again. And first of all, man, shout out Joe. We appreciate you, Joe. We appreciate everybody who always pulling up. Chung, Joe, Corey, Enterprise.
Yeah.
I see you. Donald Allison, Denzel, if I leaving anybody out, I blame it on my just But are you more excited as a just as a basketball player? I mean, a fan of the game, right? Are you more excited about Missi or Antonio?
That's a good question. I mean, I think I'm more.
Shout out to
I don't
Frank.
even know. You know what, Lito? I don't even know if I could tell you, who I'm more excited about. I'm just because this wasn't number one on our list, right? We wanted a trade.
Yeah, yeah,
If it was up to me, they wouldn't have made any picks yesterday.
yeah,
or today. It wouldn't have. Nobody would have got drafted. You know what I'm saying? Like people would have been going off the team and they would have upgraded the roster, which more than we hope, more than likely at some point will still happen. But if you're asking me, I wouldn't put either pick above another. What I will say is I'm at least satisfied with the fact that it seems like they're not drafting players and setting them up to fail out the gate. Like they're not drafting players that have to stretch beyond the means of imagination to grow, right?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like even if, like let's say, Chaz always say, it's bring your own bag, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
talked about some of the failures, which might make it hard to draft a point guard, right? Because of the difficulties there. And we know some of the misses that they've had over time. But a lot of them players were complex. The ones that came in right away and was like, okay, like Herb Jones knew, well, okay, I played defense in college. I played a little point and I'm gonna have to improve my shot. That's how I'm gonna live. That's how I'm gonna eat in the NBA.
Right.
Cool. It worked out. Trey Murphy knew, all right, I shot the ball well. I defended. I'm ducking the basketball. That's how I'm gonna eat. That's how I'm gonna get paid. I might add stuff along the way, but that's how I'm gonna get paid. It worked. These two dudes, I'm not saying they Herb and Trey necessarily, but for picks that have worked in the past, they fit that mold of, okay, this is what you did in college. We ain't gonna ask you to really change up too much for what you did there. Just continue, just perfect that, and you'll be an upgrade. You'll be worth our selection one way or another. I'm happy with that. These are even if they're projects, they're not. I don't think you're building these people from the ground necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I feel you. Say y'all, look, at some point in this show, and I'm saying some point, but it's definitely gonna happen. We pulling people on stage. We gonna talk about, you know what I'm saying, the game, the draft picks. We gonna talk about Pelicans, trade targets and shit. Uh we starting comments. I see some people have draft questions. Look, man, the only thing we ask is turn your camera on, dog. Have some respect. No, I'm just playing. Have some respect for yourself and us doing it as in the line of communication. I don't want to talk to a blank screen, son. I want to see faces. I want to see people.
We
People
talk
always
to
in the
Lala
comments.
all the time, and it's a blank screen.
I know
What's
what
the problem?
Lala. I know what Lala looks like. All right, man. So look, we're gonna get
Shout out
into.
to Lala.
You want to watch? You sent me a scouting report on Yves Missi as a rim protector, and you sent me a video about strengths and weaknesses. Do you want to watch that video first?
Yeah, let's do that.
I bet. So butter got cold. This technology. I'm telling you. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just,
You became a technician at 45.
yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I think some of these are of the tournament. I ain't watched this video, so I don't know. That's kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm about to say I'm watching football. Like, what's happening here?
So he's 6'10", 229. He 19 years old, from Cameroon. His parents, I believe, played for the national team in Cameroon. He came to the States at 15. He didn't speak English, and shout out to him because he's, you know what I'm saying, he's progressed well in life expeditiously up to this point. All right, man. Chris with this weak ass video, man. Come on.
Hardy,
All right.
bro. Jesus.
Here we go. Strengths. High level playmaker. All right, I'm gonna hold up. I'm gonna pause right here because I want if you're listening and you're not watching, I want you to know this. He shot 62% true shooting percentage, which is third in the Big 12, 14.6% offensive rebounding percentage, which is first in the Big 12, and he had a 125 offensive rating, which is second in the Big 12. And if you watch these clips, 98% of this is assisted. So I just want you to prepare for that and understand what needs to happen and what he needs to be surrounded with. But I will say this in regards to the Jackson Hayes comparison, Chris, before the video even starts, in my opinion, off the bounce, like straight vert, he way more athletic. Jackson Hayes, in my opinion, needed a runway to gain that athleticism. Now, as far as up and down the court, I think Jackson is probably a better athlete as far as 40-yard time being fast. But this kid, he is like aggressive around the rim and he's trying to kill everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
And once he sealed, you said this earlier. You told me this. You said this in a group chat. You said, man, once he seals, it's over.
See, look, because right, for a dude that's pause real quick.
Yeah.
For a dude that's, when we was watching the film yesterday, we talked about what kind of screener he was and the fact that he gonna have to get better than that. Like five pointed out that he was slipping through a lot of screens, like, kind of cherry picking the opportunity, cherry picking the dive, as they would say, right?
Yeah.
So trying to get them highlights, trying to get them easy ducks. And that was one thing. But, when I was watching some stuff today, the first thing I noted, I was like, well, even if he has to work on his patience when it comes to screening and some of his technical skills, one of the things that he does do very well is when you watch the film, he seals his defender very, very well. And that bodes well for box outs. That bodes well for post-entry passes. If the Pelicans have someone who can make those passes, that bodes well for for live threats and all those different things. And he does it. It seems like he has an understanding of angles when it comes to that as well. So one thing we all talk about Jackson was like Jackson didn't set screens, he didn't box out, he didn't do any of that, he didn't seal, he none of those things. Missy has an understanding about what it means to be a big man.
Right.
He actually plays like a big man. You ain't gonna see him taking threes in year 2. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be still trying to perfect, some of the fundamentals of being a center at the next level.
Hey, one thing real quick. I don't know how we got here, but you ain't tell a lie. I don't know how we got here. Cause we're not even talking about her. But you ain't tell a lie.
Did she ever not look good?
That's a generational good looker. That's what that is. That's
generational good looker.
Yeah, a general
just play just play the film. Don't worry about it. Just play the film.
She ain't never not look good. Oh. So look, I talked about this. You talked about this in a lot of videos we saw. I'm not seeing like solid screens, but in most of these, the rub is good enough where he can.
What that is? The what?
That's just what it's called, man.
What? Accountability. Pause the game. Pause the show. The what is good?
What do you want me to call it? The bump, the pick, the half pick.
I mean, the contact, the something.
The ghost pick. I like that. The ghost pick.
Let's go with that.
The ghost pick has been good enough to where he can hold the defender off, even if it's just a second, and he's quick enough that the big can't recover back to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, damn, man, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't even play the video because but accountability, like hold me accountable, y'all.
No, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Hey yo.
Oh yeah, strict around here. All right, that was a much better screen. Wasn't much better, but it was a better screen. So let me ask you this. Just watching the film, what do you believe day one will translate for him in the NBA?
That's a good question. Motor. Motor. I would say the motor and just some of the instincts he has around the basket. Like that right there, that physical nature. Like the fact that he's like he doesn't play like someone who's scared of contact, right? Like I wouldn't call him, so that kind of nature, him not being afraid to, a term you used earlier, bang, him not being afraid to,
Oh,
oh my God.
okay.
Like, I mean, but and look, bro, we live in a pick and roll league, man. And a
Yeah.
good majority of the things that these plays that you watching him offensively is pick and rolling, it's diving. That's gonna translate right away. Because how many centers did you have that were real threats that, or have you had in the past 5 years that have that ability to create the contact, roll, move their feet, and do something with the basketball off the catch?
For sure. Nah, you're right. And the other thing for me, besides the motor, and that was a great point, he has great hands. He has really good hands. If you watch some of these catches that he's making, he's coming out with the basketball. He's smart enough to know the spots where he can't like finish the alley. He's coming down. He's putting the shot back up. I think his hands might be underrated, and his feet are good too. And that's probably because he has a soccer background.
Good call. Solid floor spacer. Now they're gonna have to explain what they
Yeah.
mean by floor spacer.
All right, hold on. So look, important stats to know again for anybody who's listening and not watching. He averaged 5.4 stocks per 100 possessions last season, 7.3 block percentage, third best in the Big 12, and he was 15.5% total rebounding, best in the Big 12. We got State of the Pelicans in the building. You want to highlight him while we watch the video?
Yeah.
Man, come on up here, dog. What's popping? What's popping, State of the Pelicans?
Hey,
DJ, what up?
What's going on?
DJ, what's popping, man? What you thinking, bro? How you feel about Yves Missi?
To be honest with y'all, I really think we have our own 2.0 Clint Capella.
Okay. That's not a bad comp. I seen that comp. I like that. What about his game you like?
Even though we don't have the point guard to give him the ball like James Harden was doing with Clint Capella, or well, he over there with Trey Young, I believe. So it's just, I mean, the rim protecting and his rebounding. So the only thing I don't like, and he may gradually do it, I don't think so, but is develop a mid-range or 3-point shot. Now here's the killer part, and I know y'all gonna kill me on this one. The undrafted free agent. I'm kind of heavy on the free the what I want to call it, the shit, the I'm like one of the ones that I'm more of like I hope they give Carlo Mekovic a try, because at least he can stretch the floor. I don't know about his defense, but at least he can shoot. So I don't know. Now the guards, that small forward, or the Reeves guy, that was a questionable. I mean, I'm glad that we got back in the second round to draft him. That position is either Najee Marshall gone or Matt Ryan is gone, and that's my take on them three.
Word up. We appreciate you, DJ. Appreciate you pulling up, dog. Appreciate you pulling up.
All right, thank y'all.
All right.
No problem, bro.
Man, we got 5 in the building. What's popping, cuz?
What's good, Bob?
What's poppin', dog? I appreciate y'all, sending the link. And I was like, all right, I ain't doing nothing. Kids straight. They just took a bath. It's popping.
Oh man, I said, man, let me see what my dog doing, man. It's all good.
Come on, man.
How
Let's
you?
talk the
How you?
film, dog.
We watching film, dog. Before I'm about to get back to it, but I guess while we watching, give me your thoughts on Missy.
Hey, you know what? The more I watch him, the more I don't hate him.
Bro.
That's just, it's been weird, but just like the more I watch him, it's like, all right, I can see why. I mean, he's not like great. He's like, but you can see like the intangibles are there, right? Like the thought is there. I mean, me and Chris kind of talk about this a lot. Like, all right, you can see where he's trying to get the right angle. Like, bro, we didn't see that in 3 years from Jackson Hayes, 4 years from Jackson Hayes. Like, he's doing this. Yeah, he's only played basketball in 3 years. Okay, cool. Like, that's not really the troublesome thing for me. It's just you can see where the thought process is. And again, I'm heavy on smart basketball players, and you kind of can tell like he has a little bit there, and it's almost like a baby deer. Like you're just waiting for the mind to catch up with the ability, or the ability to catch up with the mind. And
Right.
It seems like it can't.
That's a good point, Five. You know one thing that I've noticed, and like just watching his film the last, it's probably my 6th time like watching some highlights of him. It's gonna sound crazy, and I'm gonna just pause it right now because it ain't a real good way I could really like break this down without, you know what I'm saying, because basketball is weird like that. When I said he has good hands on offense, yes, but he knows when to, like, his hand placement on defense, right? Like he doesn't get caught. I told you it was crazy.
I know. That's
Go
that's
ahead.
why I
You know
said
what I'm
it.
saying?
Go
Like,
ahead,
it's not, there wasn't much I could do. His hand placement on defense, he don't get caught a lot reaching in the shooting pocket, right?
Yeah.
He takes the contact, even if they they go in chest to shoulder, he'll take the contact, and then he'll either back up and his hands are up. He doesn't get caught reaching. And for him to, in my opinion, for him to just start playing basketball 3 years ago, that's something that you don't necessarily, bro. It take motherfuckers 12 years to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Or not to do that, I should say.
I think you brought the ability to catch the ball is actually the thing that I'm like, all right. I know that sounds, elementary.
Catching and go.
Yeah, dog. Like it's like, nah, it's there. Especially for a dude that's only played basketball for 3 years. And what I really like, what really surprised me, his ability to put the ball on the floor. Like if it's 1-on-1 and he knows he can get by a guy, and that's where the angles come in at. It's like he knows which angle to attack. It's not fluid, but the process is there. That's what I'm like. All right. I can talk myself into liking a player like this.
Good. You know what, man? Look, at the end of the day, you gotta, especially at 21. I mean, we talking investments, right? And what you asking me basically is, at 21, is this kind of player, this kind of profile, someone that I would invest in? And if you take away just the situation, if you take away all the other question marks about the Pelicans, which are totally, valid, which we've talked about forever now, we'll talk about it again on today's show. But if you take that away, and it's going to be the same conversation when we talk Antonio Reeves, you take that away, you're asking me, would you invest in somebody who looks anywhere like this at 19 that just started playing basketball? I would. Like, this isn't, he's what, I think 230, 6'10, 6'11. 5 brought up his ability to put the ball on the ground a little bit. But some of the instincts, again, that he has, just as knowing what it means to be a big man. He's just not just a basketball player that happens to be 6'10. He does things, for someone who is so young in his basketball career, he does things that mirror or mimic what a center should do. The ceiling, the boxing out, some of the last line of defense things, the way that he, some of his patience when attacking the rim, or when coming in off a screen. There's some things to clean up. He's not a perfect prospect by any means, but would I invest into that individual? I would. I think he's something that you can build upon, and just mainly because he didn't shoot any jumpers at Baylor last year. He didn't shoot not one jumper last season in college, not one. That's perfect. That's perfect because we talk about so often in developing, and specifically with the Pelicans, they don't keep it simple, right? Or it doesn't feel like it's kept simple. You got guys that just working on so many things at once versus just going from station to station, trying to figure out who they are in this league. I don't think there's gonna be a problem with him. Whether he fails or it works out, it won't be because he's trying to do too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey,
And
hold up. My
go ahead.
bad, Lito. No, I was
No, I
just
was gonna say to DJ point. My fault. to DJ point. To DJ point, added what Chris just said. Yeah, that's people.
Go ahead. Yeah, with the DJ point.
I'm
It's
acting
good,
like
dog.
Justin, man. I'm acting like Justin right now. Shout out to Nap in the comments. I don't want to see him shoot a jumper. I don't want to see him attempt a jumper. I want. Chris said this yesterday. Like he said it today too. He knows who he is. I want him to continue to know who he is. Like you don't have to do anything special. The game is the game. Your game is your game. This is how you got here. Like I understand adding to your game. Dog, just be aggressive, finish around the rim, keep your high motor. You're gonna be all right.
Also, think about a division that has Wemby, Derek Lively, the
Right.
Cats in Houston, Jabari in the crew, and you got Edie now. Like, motherfucker, you got to play them like 4 times each, and all you ain't got no front court players. So you might want to pick up somebody, at least a body or something, to give you some kind of at least some fouls, because Zion can't guard those dudes. Like,
No.
you might well have somebody at least.
Hey man, the draft party film breakdown continues. We got another video we about to watch. This is basically the full freshman season highlights. And on the season again, if nobody knows, he averaged 10.7 points, a block and a half a game, and he shot 61% field goal percentage. Also, like if anybody wants to come up and talk, we got Columbia in the building. If anybody wants to come up and talk, listen, man. The link is in the joint. I think it's Lala got a pin at the top. StreamYard, pull up. You know what I'm saying? We'll get Columbia in here. We'll talk about the game. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Columbia.
What's up? How you doing, bro?
Man, it's all good, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Thank you. You've been killing it. You've been killing it yourself this off season, man. I've been seeing the videos, I've been
thank
seeing
you.
your breakdowns.
Yeah, I saw it. Thank you so much, bro.
Man, no problem. So what you think about how you feel about Missi? How do you feel about his game and the Pelicans drafting him?
Yeah, I'm not sugarcoating it. I hate the pick, bro, to be honest.
Yeah.
And not because maybe Missi is a bad player. I kind of came around about him more positive than I was mid-season. But for the Pelicans, for what we have right now, for the fit of the New Orleans Pelicans, I dislike the pick. And this is another guy that I think is going to be on a tough position because of how we play the next season. Like we just saw Jonas Valanciunas in a bad place. We saw how he needed like a guard play that never came to help him. And this guy is a guy that needs that. He obviously can do some self-creation really close to the rim, which bothers me too, because we were talking about surrounding Zion Williamson this offseason. And now we would draft at 21 a guy that only scores in the paint. So another thing is the passing ability. This guy has a 0.33 assists turnover ratio. And he reminds me kind of Andre Drummond as a prospect. But Andre Drummond was drafted 12 years ago, bro. So it's kind of, I just like it, to be honest. I hope this means that a real guard, a real point guard is coming this offseason, because he needs it. And it will be like a malpractice to select a guy that you are not going to fit him in the way that he showed he needs. So that will be my opinion, bro.
Columbia, man. Look,
Columbia cold, dog.
No,
Yeah,
look. Columbia, they came a long way, man. I remember a few years ago, he was worried about his English. You got look, man. I'm gonna have to tune into the pod a little bit more, man. Like you listen, everything you said, I think are valid points. You broke it down perfectly on the other side of the Missi pick and what it means for the Pelicans, man. So I Appreciate you as always pulling up, bro.
Man, hold on. Before you dip though, before you leave out, man, tell them where they can find you at. Tell them where they can find your stuff. Tell them the name of your pod. Like,
Mainly on Twitter, Pelicans Colombia. You can search it. My podcast is kind of a tough assignment because it has a letter that doesn't exist in English, because the name is La Peña Enola, which is the N with the little mustache. But you can find the link on Twitter. So yeah, I hope you do great, and I am enjoying the show. And thank you for having me these few minutes.
man, no
Appreciate
problem,
you, bro.
Thank you for pulling up,
Appreciate
man.
you pulling
Thank
up, bro. For sure.
All right, man. So look, we got Coach Mike. I seen you in the comments, Mike. Mike, pull up if you get a second. I do want to hear your commentary about this. I do appreciate Columbia's. I appreciate the stance. I think the Andre Drummond pick comp is spot on. And there are concerns about, what Griff said. Like, you got to provide spacing for Zion, and he not necessarily gonna help with that. But
let me ask something though. Let me ask something, Lito, and answer 5, because spacing can arrive in a lot of different ways. I do, but my thought process was always, even if I had a preference of having a stretch 5, my thought process was either a stretch 5 or a lob threat, because we just simply haven't seen enough of them. Right, Jackson Hayes is the best days in New Orleans as a Pelican was at the 4, and he didn't see a ton of games at the 4 with Zion. So we don't even know to an effect how that would ultimately have ended up working. I'm curious though, in the best of the last 2 years that we've seen Zion, I do know that we've not seen someone who, even if they clog up space, the ability to not have to catch the ball if it's thrown high to them, gather, and then go up. Someone who can, who has the athletic ability to catch lobs at the rim. So if you're on the opposite part of the paint, or you baseline, just simply being able to catch, power dribble, finish at the rim. You know what I'm saying? How many times did we see Jonas catch the ball wide open and ended up getting fouled, and just because of his athletic, disadvantages? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm curious about this guy. I'm not saying he's an amazing athlete, but everything that we talked about with what it looks like he will grow into as a center. I'm not saying it's going to be right away, but I'm just curious of, even if it is Andre Drummond, I'm curious of any single person that if they're on the opposite side of the paint, or if they're rolling, if they're just being an option finishing at the basket through contact, not ending up at the free throw line, not having to catch, resurface, post, someone who catches, finishes at the rim, and moves that way. Zion hasn't seen that. So the only retort I would have is that some of the strengths that Missi looks like he's going to be building on are things that we haven't seen with this version of Zion that might bring a different element that we're not prepared for.
To be honest, man, the Zion, let's compare him to JV. The Zion JV minutes were fine. Like, there was not a problem there. So I don't think like Messi is gonna like interrupt Zion's flow. Like, he's not a stretch 5. Like, I think you're fine there. I just think the real issue is having 3 guys that need to be around the paint. 2 is fine. 2 you can work through. I think JV and Zion had really good minutes together. If they just would have kind of played more, say if like Brandon's not out there. There are times where they were fine. The issue is when you have 3 people trying to get into the lane and you're not surrounding them with shooting. That's where your issues lie. Yeah.
I think but look, I agree with everybody said. I appreciate Columbia being on the opposite side of the argument too, because that's important, to add, like, some points that people aren't thinking about. But the point for me is that maybe this does leave the door open for you to trade for, insert name player there.
Guard.
Right.
Point guard.
Any name. Just that's what, like, just give it. We got Mark in the building. We're gonna keep the film rolling. We're gonna get Mark up here, see Mark feel like what's popping, Mark? How you living, bro?
Oh, what up, man?
It's all good,
Mark.
man.
What's up, Mark?
Y'all see I got my Messi jersey on.
Come on, man.
All right now.
All right.
Yeah. We gotta start wearing Messi jerseys. That's crazy.
From Missi, we was clowning on. Yeah.
How you feel about the pick, Mark?
At first, I ain't gonna lie, Justin kind of had me tainted. Justin had me tainted. I was like, man, this dude probably trash. But I went and looked at a little tape. He seemed athletic. The dude seemed athletic. He seemed like not clumsy. You know, like
Yeah, that's a good point, Mark. That's a good point. He has
seemed
coordination.
agile on his feet, strong. Yep. I mean, we might have something.
Okay.
We might have something, and I don't want to compare.
Mark selling.
Yeah,
Mark selling right now.
Yeah,
Mark, this a paid promotion by the Pelicans. You in pocket? What's up?
No. Look, at first I didn't like the pick. I didn't like it. I ain't gonna fake like, oh, I always wanted this dude. 10 points, nothing to shake a stick at or whatever. But when you look at
crazy.
the dude,
hold on, Mark. That was a little crazy.
What, pause? Oh no. No.
Hey yo.
Oh no. I'm gonna take my lick. All right, look. I don't want to compare him. I don't want to compare him to Hayes because I feel like this dude completely different than Hayes.
All right.
Yeah. At first, I was like,
tell me why.
Hayes just was like kind of like a clueless defender. There was a lot of times things would happen on the court, and you look at Hayes, and he wasn't even like trying to make the right play on defense. And I think that's where we're gonna see the biggest difference between this dude and Hayes. This dude looked like a natural defender, a natural shot blocker. Like Hayes would get blocks, but it would be like off help defense, like he slide over and staple it to the backboard. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude, he might be able to do something.
For sure, man. Mark, man, we appreciate you pulling up, dog. Thank you, man. We appreciate the support.
Yeah, y'all the best, man. Best in the game right now.
Man,
appreciate
thank
you, Mark, bro.
Appreciate that, dog.
I'm gonna keep rocking with y'all, boys.
All right, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
Hey, man, we got Justin in the comments talking about I overreacted. I bet you won't make a video. Saying you overreacted. I bet you won't get on. You won't buy a jersey, have it on in the video, and say you overreacted.
Say. I'm editing his reaction from yesterday. We gonna post that very shortly. Go ahead. Go ahead. Five.
I think Mark was kind of on to something like he doesn't go after every shot to block. He's just trying to alter it. I think that's super important to talk about. Like, yeah, like he gonna get blocks, but like he's just trying to get in your way. Like if he can't get to it, it's like, all right, I'm just trying to alter it just so you miss, rather than like, and that may not lead to a stat or nothing like that for him, but you know, the team didn't get a good look. And I think that's super important to talk about.
Call him out, X. Hey, Five, let me ask you a question. How you feel about Missi's athleticism compared to Jackson's?
I think Jackson's like super athletic. Like I don't think it's close, to be honest with you. Like Jackson probably run like a 4.5 and a 40 type, like super long legs. He probably could be a Olympian, you know, in the long jump or triple jump or something like that. But on the basketball court, that really don't matter. It's not about how high you jump; it's how effective you are. And I think this dude is super. Like he's more effective than Jackson. If you just want to put it in that terms.
Yeah.
Okay, Lito, go ahead. You do you think that we're that the people that are positive about this pick, do you think, how much of that do you think plays into what the Pelicans have failed to do or provide at that position versus what he actually is, or versus what they actually think he can be?
That's a good question, man.
Lito, you shoot.
I think the positivity comes from a couple different places. I think he to be so young in his NBA. I mean, not even his NBA, just his basketball career. The potential he has is kind of tantalizing when you see how he moves his feet. When you see just the natural defensive instincts he has. Coach Mike we're gonna get Coach Mike up here in a second. Coach Mike had a comment where he was talking about, you know, the ceiling on the pick and rolls. And man, it's just for me, two things I feel like stick out: his IQ and his feet. And to me, at 6'11", you know, with the good size that he has, I think that if he's able to, like, dog, he don't really have to do nothing special. He just gotta play hard, be there, and just understand his assignment, right? He does that. I think he fills a role that the Pelicans don't have. You know, like they don't have that. There's nobody on the roster. I mean, first of all, there's no center, but there's nobody on the roster who could do that. Now, listen, he has to be a better rebounder than what I've seen in certain games. Like, even though he does have a motor, I think sometimes he was positionally just out of space, and it could have been just Baylor scheme also. I didn't watch a whole lot of Baylor basketball, so I can't really answer for that. But I hope I answered your question.
My rebuttal is more. I think it's we're fearful because we've seen this kind of story before. Like, although I really like player development coach Darnell Lazard. I think he'll have a tough task on his hands. Like, he has to become a better screener. Like, I think if you just solve just that one thing, that will open up everything else, because I think he has a really good feel for the game. But if you set better screens, that opens up everything else. Matter of fact, I was thinking about doing like a one-off, just talking about teams that screen well. I think those teams that screen well are the smarter basketball teams in the NBA. If you look at the Celtics, you look at Golden State, you look at, hell, you could somewhat even look at the Lakers at times. Like, the way, let's say Denver, look at the way they screen. It's obnoxious at times. Like, sometimes you just don't know how to defend it. And I think that's what screening does. So if you can get a guy like this to just understand his role and screen well and rim run and alter shots and just make it very, very simple, I mean, you make his worth go up.
Hey, to 5.2, there's one thing he hasn't done it a lot of college, because college don't really demand that. But in the NBA, you said Denver. Denver does a lot of screening and rescreening. It's multiple screens. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's multiple times where I set the screen. I don't like how it looks. Hey, come back, set the screen again, right? If he can do that, get his feet set, because nobody on the Pelicans set a screen anyway. like nobody on the Pelicans, there's not an understanding of doing that. I'm not trying to sell anybody on the pick, to be honest. That was a good left. That was a damn good left.
It's not even the left for me. It's the power dribble in traffic and how decisive he was with
the recognition. Boom, right, he processed that really quickly too.
That's the angle. That's recognizing the angle that Five was talking about. That, like, that wasn't a straight line drive. He took a route to get there to finish with the left. Like, people don't realize in real time how fast and how quick you got to be able to process that. That's something else. The processing speed. Yep. Like, a lot of these things that he's doing, they don't take him long to figure out. You know what I'm saying? For somebody that's so young in his basketball career, the processing speed is there. And think about this. Five mentioned how important the screening element is going to be. And I look at it from this perspective. When I think about young bigs, one of the first things I think about is foul trouble. Damn. That's one of the first things I think about is foul trouble, especially when you throw in the fact that he's a rim protecting big as well. So his two strengths are going to involve him screening and contesting shots. Those are foul magnets in the NBA, especially when we're talking about some of the creators that we have just in the division he plays in alone. You know, so that's what, this year, next year, whenever it arrives, this is why the film is so important. I want to watch more and kind of, see summer league, preseason, whatever games he ends up playing, to see game to game, possession to possession, what his patience is like. Because if he is a dude that stays out of foul trouble, whether it's through how he sets screens or whether it's from his patience defending the rim, that also changes a lot of different things about him.
Hey, Chris, to your point, right? I saw the recognition of, like, people, we were talking about like jump shots and shit, right? Is, to me, if he's able to just take a straight line drive like that, maybe get his defender into foul trouble, I think that's helpful. I think also, the recognition of knowing where to be in the dunker spot is also something that I don't think he gets a lot of credit for. You saw that with Jax a lot of times. Jax was out of position. He never timed his cut well versus
That's
whatever
a form of space,
was.
Lito.
Right.
That's
right.
a form of spacing.
Right. Right. For sure. But let's get Mike up here. What's up? What's up, Coach?
What's up with it?
Man, it's all
Coach,
good,
what up, brother?
man.
Oh, what's up, Coach?
Can't call it, man. It's good to be back in y'all presence, brothers.
Oh man, you know what it is. You know it's love, man. I'm here. I'm glad Georgia treats me well, man. You know we miss you in the city though.
It's all right, man. It's all right. I'm actually got my assignments. I got to go cover some basketball tomorrow and get some more evals done, man. But first and foremost, shout out to y'all because the film study's been dope. It's just good y'all spreading the gospel, man. I love to see that. And everything y'all been saying about the processing, um, and him just learning how to operate in space, especially after these screens, is something that I don't think a lot of people caught because people getting lost in, oh, he only averaged this a game, he only shot this many attempts, he didn't shoot no threes. When I think a lot of times last season the Pels was just missing some form of competence on the floor, and I don't think outside of Larry, the forward spot, we didn't get anybody who can process the next play, who could get out of their screen with any kind of speed or kind of pace or kind of timing. I think Lito, you might have mentioned it. Noticing how the on-ball defenders guarding the ball and changing the screening angle without having the guard tell them to do it.
Yeah.
So Missy do that. Just keep himself available. And I think it was they playing Kansas and he caught the ball. He short rolled, just kind of waited, kept himself available for the pocket pass, and everybody else was denied, and he went scored on the big white kid that they got that transferred from Michigan. And I don't know that we'll see him do that at the NBA level as far as his on ball creation. We won't see that for a minute, but the stuff that stick out to me is that learning how to know how to play with some kind of pace and time his rolls up with the ball handler, change the screening angle, get that ball reversed to him, and then go to a second side action. Without hesitating. Just know, like, okay, I need to go to a dribble handoff. I just need to skip it quick. I don't think he don't have that lob touch yet. To throw the lob, but all we really would need him to do is make one or two quick plays and just get the ball reversed, get the defense change, take advantage of having a 3-on-2 and you being the person that's responsible for making that play happen. I think that's what makes Derek Lively so good for the Mavericks because he's a young big that processed a lot of that stuff faster than people probably anticipated. And he just happened to have Luka to unlock certain things, but the way he processed the next play after a short roll was pretty impressive, and I saw some of that from Messi. Oh, there go the play right there I was just talking about.
Yeah.
There you go.
Go ahead, Chris. My bad.
No. Go ahead, Lito.
I was gonna say, Mike, like to say again, he's young in his basketball. Oh, come on,
Ooh.
come on.
I didn't think he had to go back right. That's nice.
Yeah,
And then
he hurt. And he hurt him.
You know what I like about him? Everything isn't a dunk. Everything it's a finish. Like he understands like what this play might be just a lay right now. Like it's not a dunk. He got some tricks to him.
It's kind of unorthodox with him, and those types of players be the toughest to guard because most defenders used to timing up certain guys. You can kind of time they move, time they counters, and with him he just kind of like gangly, 7'2" wingspan, and he doing up and unders. It's weird watching it. So it's got to be weird defending it.
I was going. And this is 5. I ain't shooting at your alma mater. But the reason why I guess I started paying attention to him was how I saw him play against Filipowski. I know I'm sorry. I didn't mean to dish 5. I'm just saying. But like, Mike, let me ask you a question. Realistically, when do you think you'll see him on the floor? Like, do you think he'll spend a lot of time in the G League? Do you think he'll get any minutes at all in the NBA this season?
I don't know that we'll see him I don't know that we'll see him on the floor a whole lot because y'all pointed out he's so young in his basketball career. Now, the impressive part about him is I think I tweeted it out. You know, I've seen a couple of tweets about between Bryson saying it in the press conference and Ali mentioning how his free throw percentage improved from the first 17 games to the final 17. He made strides throughout the season, so he showed progress from day one from game one to game whenever they got eliminated in the tournament. So that kind of bodes well, but it's a whole lot of information he gonna have to take in, and I don't know that between adjusting to the speed and the physicality and getting that information, he'll be able to see the court and be as effective as we think. Um, not never mind like being effective offensively, but for us to see what the impact he can really make defensively, which is kind of what everybody's anticipating. I don't know that we'll see that. Um, I think we'll see it sparingly. I'm if we're not seeing Carlo anytime soon, I think Carlo's more skilled than him offensively.
Yeah.
I don't know that we'll see him anytime soon either. But I five on with you. I can probably after watching film, I can probably talk myself. I have not probably. I've talked myself into saying like, all right, there's a chance, there's something there, and that's why I've been on the team. He's not Jackson Hayes because he's not Jackson Hayes 2.0. Some of the offensive stuff he shows us that Jackson's not doing that. And he's been elite 3-4 years, 4 or 5 years, however long he's been in. So
Yep.
he just got some natural feel offensively, and then defensively. Of course, he's got real instincts over there.
What do y'all, and this is pretty much for everybody. One of the things that we haven't talked about much here is, so because he is in a lot of ways, right? He's supposed to be a traditional big, but what did Griff call it? There was something that he mentioned in regards to defensive flexibility in regards to how you can use him. And I think what he's pointing to in the fact is that when he gets caught up in a switch, he doesn't seem to be food, right? He's someone who can get down in a stance. He's someone who seems to be comfortable in taking on that challenge. And I'm curious to, like, that's one of the things that we're not talking about. Like, because if you're gonna play in this league, period, that's something you're gonna have to be comfortable with to stay on the floor. But it's clear if you are going to play with this current coaching staff and Willie Green, that's something that's very important for them.
Mm-hmm.
You being able to switch and hold your own, even if you're at a mismatch, not being food in a switch, drop, in multiple coverages. And he seems to be that kind of big, someone who will grow into, like if you continue to, he continues to work and the time is put in there, he gets the mental reps. Someone who is just capable, just physically, to be in those positions in a bunch of different defensive coverages and not be out of place.
I think to that is like I think he has the IQ for it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you can have all the measurables. I mean, you can be 7 foot like Jackson and be, we keep bringing him up, but the super long wingspan and be athletic. And at times he was food against guards. And a lot of times he was food against guards.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's competent, one physically and mentally. Like, hey, all right, well, guys are going to score on him. Yes, like it's going to happen. Let's not think he's like some shutdown corner or some shit like that. But
Right.
he's going to make it tough at least, right? And hopefully you have guys, rotating, allowing, somebody to get back in position, the right position, to help out, right? Like just being able to make a guy make one or two moves. It's another second for your help side to get in the correct position to help you out. It's all about timing, and I think he has that. He'll just need time on task to kind of get that down.
I think that for me, I don't know if y'all just saw, but I found a video where they're comparing him to Robert Williams. They're saying Robert Williams is his pro comp. I don't know if me and Chris have talked about it, but I don't know if you or Coach Mike have a pro comp in mind for him. The one thing that I will say outside of like any IQ or basketball ability, I feel like he got a little meanness somewhere in him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he got some attitude that Pelicans got a lot of nice guys. They got a lot of, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of guys who they follow you, they'll help you up. I feel like Yves might have a little bit of dog in him where he'll bring that to protecting, let's say Zion or protecting Brandon or CJ on the floor. Like I'm looking forward to that. Y'all have any how do you feel about that, first of all? And do you have a draft comp or a player comp for him?
I don't have a player comp for him, to be honest with you. I don't think he's Clint, because Clint even for as unpolished as Eve is, Clint is still super unpolished. I think the only thing they got in common is his body type and the fact that they can probably, the vertical lob threats and protecting at the rim. But to an earlier point, I just think that his biggest hurdle is going to be the mental progressions, the mental development, because again, you're just talking about so much he's got to learn in such a little time, that when you're playing for a defensive minded coach and a team that's top 6, top 7 in the defense, if you're gonna be out there, then you got to be out there and be effective, plain and simple. And we all know that the only rookie who's played a shit ton of minutes for the Pels is Herb, and that's because Herb, he's got good natural defensive instinct. So I mean, he got drafted to the right damn team as far as learning how to play D and learning how to play schemes, and not learning how to fly around, but it's just those on court reps, and it's figuring out how the pro game goes. He's got to figure out. We talked about how he does a good job of not fouling. Well, they do a better job in the NBA of drawing fouls. So he's got to figure that type of stuff out. It doesn't matter how great you are at not fouling in college. They officiate different, and Devin Booker gets you 3 quick fouls like that before you know it, you can't play no more. That's just what it is. He does, Lito does seem to me he's got some shit with him as far as his attitude. Not that he's not on that vibe stuff, and I think the team kind of needs some of that, especially with Najee leaving, because Najee probably had the most dog in him on the roster, outside of Herb, obviously. And if you lose Najee, you're losing a lot of that. So you got to replace that somehow. But again, I think Yves just got a lot of growing to do mentally. Just for somebody who just started playing basketball such a short time ago, and he's international too. He had to play the college game, the American college game. Now he's got to learn the professional college game. So everything's gonna be mental with him. Everything's gonna be. I don't have a comp though, Lito. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, y'all say Giannis, but Giannis had a handle. Giannis had an offensive foundation, as far as on ball goes. And I don't want to compare him to Clint, because I think he's a little bit further along offensively than Clint was when he first got in here. Also, I generally don't have a comp though. I think he's a little bit more offensively skilled than Time Lord, than Rob. So
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think for all intents and purposes, everybody's saying, Rob's knees are basically mine now, but like at his peak, Rob is that was crazy. Damn, my bad.
go ahead, keep going.
Shout out to Frank at UNO, man. Rob was, in my opinion, defensive player of the year. Potential, should have been a candidate.
Damn.
I think he should have won it when Marcus Smart won it, honestly. So for him to have any of that type of upside is, I would say, a win for the Pelicans.
It's just
you don't have to have a crazy vertical when you got a 7'2" wingspan, because that dude's not he's not flying off the court. Y'all asked who was athletic, more athletic out of him and Jackson, and 5'5" was spot on. It's not even close. Jackson is way more athletic, which hell, when you got a 7'2" wingspan, you just need to have about a 35-inch vertical and good timing. And he's got both.
And
I saw one of these clips. He was guarding somebody, a guard, and the guard jumped off the court to get his shot up. He jumped later than the guard did, and he still got the shot blocked because his hands is quick.
I think I saw that. I think it was either against Oklahoma State or Texas. I think we had the clip up here. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I think we get caught up so often in these young guys playing because, you know, playing day one because, you know, unfortunately, you know, the Pelicans have been in situations where these rookies have had to play maybe quicker than you thought they would, whether they were ready or not. He's clearly going to need some time. He's going to need some reps. But if you told me that he was your starting center at, you know, year 3, I wouldn't be surprised. And I think, you know, we don't get the opportunity to really think about rookies like that very often. Not with New Orleans. The long-term element of developing somebody and what that means. Maybe them not being someone that has to play game 1 or game 5 or later on in the year, you know, unless the team is in, you know, out of playoff contention. And I think if you're able to look at it like that, you can be happy with the pick. But
That one right there.
The struggle with that is that the Pelicans have so many other deficiencies, so many other voids that they need to end up addressing. And until you see it, it's really hard to put his place, his role, where he's going to fit in his organization for the next few years, really in the proper context.
Yeah, I compared him. Say if you have like him right now, like say his floor is now, it's Thomas Bryant. That's the one that really kind of jumps out to me. But if I were to like kind of project a little bit, I would love for him to be Robert Williams with the Celtics, right? Like that would be
absolutely
a win
for sure.
And you know who that really helps out? Herb Jones.
Yep.
Oh my
God. You don't have to cover nothing up no more.
Yeah. Like he might.
Herb just got his Patrick Willis, and he can be. I mean, Ray Lewis and now Herb can be Ed Reed.
And he could finally win a defensive player of the year. Like, you know, maybe if Wemby, like, you know, God forbid he gets hurt or something like that. But just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you would want if you're a guard like that, just to have somebody else that's competent. If you looked at Herb's numbers when him and Dyson started games, right? You look at his defensive numbers, like they're off the charts. Just to have somebody else competent for an extended period of time. So just to have somebody, you know, with a 7'2" wingspan, you know, guarding the paint, like Herb would, I get to do everything I really like to do rather than just the stuff I have to do.
That stuff that's natural to him too. Yeah, I mean, defense is natural Herb, period, but hell, Herb would rather be on the perimeter where he's comfortable at, which is crazy to say because Herb make it look like he's comfortable no matter where you put him.
Wherever, yeah.
But even everybody has their favorite place to be.
Yeah, but the superstar stuff, right, would be able to shine more if you just had the competence on the other side.
Hell yeah.
Imagine him just being able to look forward. You know what I'm saying? Imagine him just having this look at what's happening in front of him versus having to look left, look right, look north, south, having to quarterback everything, be the savior of every single thing that's happening. Imagine Herb just having to play, you know, just having one role defensively. Imagine what that is.
Imagine somebody helping Herb out. Like, just God forbid. God forbid.
Like, thank
ball
you.
Game.
I think Herb will be able to help him too with adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Like Herb, you seen Herb kind of establish himself of being a bit more vocal with them this year. I think him sitting, watching, and Herb probably like just engaging with him, you know what I'm saying, as a leader does, is gonna help his development a lot.
Facts. Herb can tell him about playing the 5 spot, which is crazy from a defensive perspective because he did it so well.
Coach, how you feel about we haven't gotten to the film work yet, but how you feel about Antonio Reeves pick?
Big shooting is always at it's always at a premium. I do like that he's older, so it's probably not going to take him as long to get stuff figured out. He's got some he's got some veteran, probably got some veteran bones about him, if that makes sense. Like you don't have to worry about him figuring his adjustment to the physicality and speed ain't gonna take as long. Kind of like Casey Wallace in Oklahoma City,
Mhm.
in the sense that those dudes. I think the difference between like Hawk is light in the pants, so you know you can make a case for why he didn't play as much defensively, even though he probably should have played more than he did. But it can kind of be justified why Hawk didn't play as much because he's so light, because he would be taken advantage of, because of his size. Where um, Reeves is different in that he's 6'5", he's older, so he probably kind of understands some of the nuances. He'll get that stuff figured out, and he'll probably, if he does get targeted, if he is in some ISO stuff situation, if he does have to take on a switch, he'll probably hold his own a little bit better.
We gonna get into some my bad. Five. I'm gonna let you. I want you to get your point out. I just wanted to say this. We're gonna get into some Reeves footage in a second. I'm actually about to pull up the files. I got a question for the panel, but I want to hear Five's point. Why do you think Reeves went so late in the draft? Is it strictly due to age?
Yeah, it's ageism, right? It's
Yep.
ageism in NBA. But to Sip's point, like you need a guy that's a little older at times and he played for Cal. Like I understand it's Kentucky, but to play for Cal for 4 years or 3 or 4 years, I think that's what it was. Hey, bro, like you had to learn something. And the guards that come out of there, it seemed like they know how to play basketball. This brand of basketball that's in the NBA, these guys know how to play it. I mean, there's some way, somehow, like if you go to UConn, you understand winning and how to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to
Mm-hmm.
Duke, you understand some form of basketballism. I mean, when K was there. Now playing for Cal, you understand how to play basketball at a super high level. You understand competitiveness at a super high level. I mean, Rob Dillingham went top 10 and he didn't even fucking start for that team. Right? Like guys know how to play basketball for Cal. Now you're just giving this kid an opportunity. I don't know what it will look like. Hopefully it looks good, but I will bet my money that kid can play basketball at a high level.
Yeah. What you think, Chris?
It's definitely age. I mean, when you play 5 years in college, teams that maybe even, I mean, he was going to get drafted regardless, but teams are going to view that as somebody that doesn't have a high ceiling because their thought process is going to be, why it take you 5 years? Why did you have to be there that long, regardless of how good you are? But if you ask them, those same people, would they have drafted Herb Jones in the first round today? Good majority of them will tell you, yeah. You know what I'm saying? All of them will tell you yes. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's just how it goes, man. Versus an alternative view would be, did you get better every year? Regardless of, and I don't even think it's just that. He's not a supreme athlete. You know what I'm saying? He's probably more of he's more of a 2, but he's 6'4" ish. So he's not a big shooting guard. He's not not overly powerful. He shouldn't translate to be a great defender. But you know what he does very fucking well? He shoots the basketball very, 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 very well. And, I think what's most impressive to me is that he, and this is, I'm not even kidding here. And every year, outside of like his free throw percentage, pretty outside of 1 year, it got better every single year. His first 2 years in college, he wasn't a good 3-point shooter at all. His third year, it took a turn into 39%. Then the fourth year it goes up almost to 40. And then last year he's almost at 45%. You know what that tells me? You putting in the work and you realizing exactly what your strengths are. You're getting better. You are being comfortable with your surroundings. And that bodes well for what this program needs or what any program needs. And he has a skill set, I think, that works right away. But it's you saw it with Herb, and you're gonna see it with a lot. It's why Dalton Connect fell outside of any medical reasons, issues that you had with him. He was 23 years old. So a dude that probably should have went top 10 falls all the way to 17. We see it every year people get caught up in age and time when most of the people that end up drafting these dudes, no matter what age they are, ain't going to be able to see them in 3 years. They're going to be gone anyway. Just draft the right player, man, that you think got the upside that you can put, the work in, and it's going to put the work in individually on their own when you're not around too.
So look,
how many people would take Jaime Jaquez sooner than where he went nowadays?
See how that worked out for them. That was a great pick. I mean, he was good. Yeah, you're right. That was a good comparison. Look, we got I got the video of Reeves queued up. Before we move on though, Chris sent me some reactions of tweets to the Missi pick, and I just wanna pull them on screen and just show y'all, like, shout out to the bird rights, man. For the people who listening, Sean, get your damn comment off the screen, man. The wings that the Pelicans could have taken were gone. This is a very good value pick for the Pelicans. The offseason wasn't going to be one tonight, but the Pels got a defensive backup with athleticism and a high motor. This isn't Jackson Hayes. I feel like we've basically all been saying that tonight. And also shout out to Grubby getting the fastest route for a rookie on the Pelicans team is to play defense. We all know that. He'll come in and do that. Last year, his 21 pick was Noah Clowney, played in 23 games. 2022, Christian Brown played 15 minutes over 76 games. Don't overreact to his pick. Shout out to Will. Per synergy, Missi ranked number 6 in the nation on pick and roll when he was the roll man, at least 75 possessions. His defensive presence will be key to getting on the court. Pelicans haven't had a lob threat in a long time. Shout out to Charles, man. Charles had an adverse reaction. Charles went the opposite way.
Charles was going through it.
Shout out to Charles, man.
Shout out to Charles.
That's a funny brother.
Yo, he's so smart too. Like, he's so smart, man. Like, he really is really articulate. He really has good points. Even when he's on the opposite side of the argument, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has good points.
Say relegation.
He put the word relegation in the tweet. That's not normal.
That's fantastic.
That's diabolical.
Yeah, that's not regular Twitter talk there, bro. Relegate you.
Bro, that's anger right there, bro. That boy is mad. He's like, y'all need to be demoted.
That's crazy, man. Shout out to Brown Pelly, man. We did see a lot of comparisons to shout out to Schmidt too. We saw a lot of comparisons to Jax last night, but Brown Pelly said one positive in Missi's favor is that he is a much more explosive athlete than Jackson, significantly better at standing in max vert, sprint, hustle, shuttle, lane agility at 10 pounds heavier. I don't know about the sprint. I don't know how we gauge in that, but the standing max vert, I'm willing to listen to that part.
We don't play basketball standing straight up, bro. I mean, I respect the vertical test, but right. you don't play ball standing straight up.
Right. Shout out to Ali. This is the last one. Chris spoke about this earlier. And then lastly, though, we got a reaction video from a fan that we got in here. I want to share this with y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this.
It ain't finalized yet, though, Justin.
Oh,
so,
Chris, hold up, Chris. You might have.
It ain't finalized yet, though, Justin. So, they can still move them. But go ahead.
It's just so predictable. This dude, man, has got.
You might as well let it out now.
Go ahead.
Let it out.
It makes no sense. Once again, one of his strengths is a lob threat. We don't have a point guard to throw a lob threat or to throw a lob.
Bays rage.
Fuck this. I'm taking a fucking break.
Hey, man, that was Bays rage at its finest, right there. That's what that was. That was Bays rage.
Yo, who made that up? Bays rage.
I just made that shit up on the spot, dog.
Oh man, I used to say that about light skinned cats all the time. When things that go cats' way, they would step out of bounds. But this definitely fits Justin, especially yesterday, man. Dude wasn't having it.
We relegated Justin back to but look, man, Antonio Reeves, he's a 6'6" guard from Chicago, Illinois. He went to Simeon, which I believe Derrick Rose also went to Simeon.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, man. Chris also went to Simeon.
I did not go to Simeon.
Check that. He did.
Simeon.
That's why you know, because you. That's why you know.
I wouldn't know that. How would I know that?
Check the hat. Check the hat. You know,
everybody know who went to Simeon. You know, Linfield, and who didn't. It's a.
Only reason I know it's Simeon because I had to recruit some kids out of there a couple years ago.
Yeah. Simeon Rice, for those football fans, you know, on the old Tampa Bay Bucks teams, he went to Simeon as well. Ironically,
that's
right. You repping your alma mater,
man.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man.
Good.
That's
Chris
crazy.
in the building.
What's the name of your school?
Chris is up there introducing the boys at DJ Jubilee. That's crazy.
I went to. That's insane.
Yo, wow.
Y'all have block parties. Where you went, Chris? What school you went to?
Jew party.
Huh?
Julian.
Oh.
Julian.
Okay. I'm sorry I asked. He's a 6'6". Huh?
You didn't care. You didn't care.
Nah, it didn't really matter what you said to me. You could have said anything.
The piece of shit. Go ahead, man. Play the video, man.
Hey, listen, hold on, man. Let me tell you a comp I found. I just want to get into his strengths and weaknesses before you watch the film on him. He's 6'6" guard. They say he's wired to score the basketball. He's highly efficient. He shot 44% from 3-point range. He shot 86% from the free throw line. He averaged 20 points a game in 2 different teams, Illinois State and Kentucky. This past season, shot 39%, 5.7 attempts per game. He has good footwork on the catch and shoot, does a good job of getting his feet set. Let's see. He has a 36-inch max vert. They compared him to Justin Holiday.
Like he has that length. Like
I don't see it. And especially like reading that, I don't know how you
ain't Justin like 6'7". I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Let's see. His weaknesses are age, basically, and he doesn't have enough handle to break defenders down off the dribble. But I mean, with shooting, that's not something that hopefully he will ever even need to do.
How's he wide to score if he can't break people down off the dribble?
See what I'm saying? That's why, Coach, that was a great point, and that's why I think it's important for people to do their own work or watch the players before you take somebody else's word on it. Because you gave me so much information about how he was highly efficient. He can do this, he can do that, he can wide to score, but then he's gonna struggle because he can't dribble.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the only way at the next level, because what we're gonna watch on this film is that he's doing a lot of things, and it's very similar to Missi, that at his best, whether it's New Orleans or somewhere else, they're gonna be asking him to do. Like it's not gonna be a switch up, and they're not gonna be like, all right, man, we need you, ISO on top of the, clear out, man, top of the key. They ain't gonna be like 1-4 flat, man. Like go ahead. It ain't gonna be that kind of situation for him, man. He gonna be doing similar things.
First highlight, he put somebody on.
Right.
Jesus Christ, man.
The Justin Holiday one got me.
That's good enough.
That's a little crazy to me.
Yeah, man. He got a very quick release on the shot too. Like his shot NBA ready for real.
Yeah.
Because I mean, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Like Justin Holiday was nowhere close to being considered one of the better shooters in the draft coming out. He still had room to work on that when he came out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's kind of like Drew. He was on ball. He was downhill, 2 feet in the paint.
Yeah.
I want to say Justin Reeves probably maybe 3 years ago had just kind of got his shot competent.
That's what I'm saying. But it was 3 straight years
Ooh.
of elite shooting. I don't think
Yeah.
Justin. I'd be surprised if Justin had one elite year of shooting. And he stayed for at least 2-3 years at where you go? Washington, UC. It wasn't UCLA. That was Drew that went to UCLA.
It was Drew and the little brother, I think, huh?
Right.
Didn't the little brother?
Aaron.
Aaron.
I think Justin went to Washington. Either Washington State.
He went to Washington.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
So I guess just this the brief film that we've seen. What has jumped out at y'all as far as like what do you like? What have you seen that you like so far from Antonio?
Let coach go.
The thing that jump out is the fact that he can at least put the ball on the deck to get to a spot, because he's not gonna be tasked with being a heavy on ball creator. He's gonna be playing, on the court with Zion, obviously, and whatever other option 2 to be named down the line. So he'll be off ball. So his biggest thing is, obviously catching and shooting and spacing, but can you drive a closeout? Can you put the ball on the deck competently? Because he's gonna have, like, it's kind of like with Trey. You're gonna be spot up movement shooter, but there's gonna be times where you gotta read, you gotta process the defensive space. So you gotta be able to judge closeouts. Can you drive it right, drive it left? Okay, now can you get to the mid range and finish? Can you get to the cup and finish? You don't need a bunch of counters. I'm seeing counters from him, so at least we know that he has that in him. But I like to see that, considering he's, his role is probably going to be, spacer, shooter. He can at least put the ball on the deck and get somewhere. So now when he's run off the 3-point line, he looks comfortable putting the ball on the deck and making the play for himself.
Hey, shout out to Reed Vega. He looks like a Buddy Hield light.
Like, Buddy Hield. Yep.
Yeah, like that, like the shot, even the shot.
The shot kind of looks like Buddy. I was watching like, who the hell does that shot remind me of?
And it's weird,
like a push shot almost.
He's looking. The thing that I love about him, he's looking for it. Like, he's not running from the. Some guys is like, all right, they can shoot the ball, but they're not like running to the ball to get their shot off. Like, he's trying to get it off at any point in time. Like, you see him in not gonna see it here in transition. Like, he knows, like, oh, I'm stopping here on the wing to try to get this off. Like, you kind of like guys like this, right? Like, you have to, the ones that want to shoot, right? That don't shy away from it. But the Buddy Hield comparison is there for me. I'm liking this one.
I'm gonna say
he's longer than him, but the shot does look like him. Now that you mentioned it, Five.
Chris, I wanna ask you what jumps out about Antonio for you, but before that, I just want to say that his this part right here, you're gonna see a lot of floaters from him. He shot 98 floaters and he made 52 of them. So even though he is a shooter, the floater is a big part of his game. He's got a good combination of in between the 3 and the floater in his game.
And also similar to you guys' point about Buddy, I think Buddy was also like 23 when by the time he got to New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I mean, I think what's most impressive for me is that he's playing at a school like Kentucky. And we know the kind of talent that they develop, and we know the kind of guard play that they have. And you not just seeing him have the ability or the confidence to create in a few different ways, even if that's not going to be his role at the next level, but the trust that's being there from the people around him to make these things happen. Like, none of it looks unorthodox. It looks like things, again, that he's worked on, and he's not playing for, he's not at San Diego. He's not at Iowa State. He's not at a place where he would have a little bit more or a pin. Like he's at a top program.
Right.
And that says a lot to me. Like, that says that somebody has he's putting the work on and off the floor. This is a dude that's that's in the gym. This is a dude that's showing up to practice the right way. I like the shot, and I think that's again that's going to be the thing that translates best and probably is going to get him minutes whenever his time is his number is called. That's going to be the thing he's going to be called on. But the fact that he is able to do some of these things, finishing left, finishing right. We've seen a Euro, we've seen him in transition, we've seen the stop, the mid range, we've seen him dribble and take a three. It just bodes well for having to eventually having to counter off those things, even if you're not going to be able to have to use them every single time.
Mm-hmm. I want to say, for his lack of athleticism, like I just mentioned the floater, it's gonna go a long way for him because he doesn't have to out athlete anybody, right? Like you've seen a couple plays now where his IQ was so bright where he floats to the corner, like he finds it's kind of like a running back or a tight end for a quarterback. He finds the open pocket. He shuttles over. He's good move. And he understands the game. And I think if I'm not mistaken, he had 20 point games this season at Kentucky.
Watch how he plays closeouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, watch how the fact that everyone knows it's on the scouting report that you have to run him off the 3-point line. And the plays that you're watching him make, they go well with somebody who has to be like, a floater is anyone's best friend, but think of like Etuan Moore, right? When Etuan was in New Orleans, we would talk about his floater so much, but typically that was coming off a pump fake. That was coming off of a closeout. And it worked very well for him to be able to create the space, because you got to be able to do that when you're not a superb athlete. You're not someone that's an amazing creator. So it's like he's worked on the right things to get himself to the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's put in the right work that fits for a dude to make it this far. Like he knows that these are the things I'm going to have if I'm gonna find a way to scratch and crawl and create a living at the next level.
That's maturity though, Chris, because y'all talked about I mean, obviously he's an older kid, but you talked about his 3-point percentage going up every year to the point where he's shooting mid-40s on 6 attempts this past season.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got in his ear and said, look, if you want to get to the league, you got to be able to shoot that. You got to be able to shoot at a pretty good clip. So there's a maturity about him. There's some gym rat in him, obviously. And so when you're bringing in rookies, I don't think you can bring all 19-year-olds in your draft class. Where you got to teach too many. You got to teach a bunch of guys so much stuff. You need guys that are gonna come in and with some layers already peeled back, if that makes sense. Where you don't have to teach them how to mature. You don't have to teach them how to work. You don't have to teach them how to be places on time. All you got to do is just teach them a system and let them rock out how you rock out. So, I like the size. I like this. I like he's comfortable off the dribble. He's kind of what I wanted. What Say started becoming on the back half of his rookie season, where we started seeing him get a little bit more comfortable driving those closeouts. The midi wasn't working, but at least we saw Trey start putting the ball on the deck and noticing that people were purposely running them off the line. If you're gonna be a guy like that, you could probably see from these highlights why somebody say, "Oh, he's wired to score," because he's not catching and shooting. You see him with some spin moves, with some euros, with some a little bit of sauce to his drive.
Right.
So you could probably see why somebody would say, "Well, he's wired to score," but it doesn't look as pretty as Rob Dillingham. You don't need to be pretty though. You just got to be effective. Just go get a bucket if you can.
That's a tough shot.
In the second round, I think it's a good get.
Yeah.
Because you addressed another need. I don't think shooting out of need, just playing the shooting is the need. That's the need. But hell, he come in and compete for minutes. Now you got to trade him. I don't know what that means for Matt Ryan, but you got on paper 3 bona fide shooters.
To that
point, and CJ too. I'm sorry, 4 of them.
So to that point, coach, like he was on a court with Reed Shepherd, who shot 52% from three. Like having other guys that can shoot the ball helps you shoot the ball well. Like when you're the only guy that can shoot, like it's tough, man. You feel like you gotta carry the weight of gravity to help everybody out. When you have somebody else, I'm pretty sure Trey Murphy would have loved Jordan Hawkins to be out there just a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Not to say that
question.
not to say that Najee and Jose couldn't knock down shots, but the threat, right? Just the pure threat of him being out there. He could be 0 for 5. You still have to guard it. And I think this young man saw an increase because he played alongside another guy in Rob Dillingham and Reed Shepherd. Like it all makes sense. Just being shooters being out there with other shooters makes shooters shoot well.
Yep.
Oh yeah, facts. Right. And if he wasn't as old as he was, he probably wouldn't be. I don't know that he would have been okay playing alongside two guys that came with the hype that Reed and Dillingham come with. Just think about a dude that's probably their age and saying like that don't mean I'm not gonna get as many touches. I'm not gonna get as much shine, as opposed to an older dude saying like, hell, I'm gonna be wide open sometime because I'm on the court with these level dudes. So what do you think he's gonna be in practice is saying? I'm playing with Zion. It's like target practice. Or I'm on the court with Trey and Hawk. About to be target practice.
Hey, coach, that's a great point because as I'm watching these highlights and I'm thinking about his fit on the Pelicans specifically, the names you mentioned from Kentucky, it lets me know he knows how to play with talent. And I think to the age and maturity point, that's gonna go a long way for him. Obviously, he's not gonna come in and be the best player on any team. So, but his skill set will allow him to blend seamlessly, hopefully, with the Pelicans.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that finish is even tougher.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's top. So Reed Shepherd's threes were the most effective field goal percentage in Kentucky, but Reeves's floater and threes were top 2 and 3 for effective field goal percentages on that team.
He has a really good array of giant killers. Like once he gets to the free throw line or the restricted area, like I've seen not just floaters, I've seen scoops, I've seen floaters off of gathers, I've seen Euro floaters, I've seen a scoop finish with the left or the right hand. Like
them high glass Zion layups.
Yeah, fading left, fading right, off balance. Like again, he shouldn't be in many situations to where he has he has to illustrate them all the time. But the fact that he even knows at this level, because it's gonna be even more important because everybody tall in the NBA. Everybody gonna be sure, like everybody gonna have amazing athletes and so on and so forth. So for him to be able to have to know how to do that now and to have these things ready and just the muscle memory of that, I think that's gonna pay off, man. That says again a lot about the maturity.
No, Chris, that I'm thinking you can see why the reports say he was wired to score, because some of these finishes and some of the craft off the dribble look like somebody who led the conference in scoring at a smaller level. Like we seeing a dude who was high usage at one point, and somebody said you got to go do that at a higher level and show you can do something else against better competition. Y'all see it with the Illinois State, and it's easy for somebody, some decision maker or some agent or somebody who talked to NBA scout to say, hey man, these scouts say you're doing it in the Mo Valley. You got to go do it somewhere else. You got to do it on the big stage.
Yep.
Like some of what we seeing looked like a guy who had the ball in his hands a lot as a scorer at a small school and scored the shit out of it. And like that right there, that don't look like a spot up shooter. Yeah. Trey wasn't doing that his rookie year.
It looked like coach somebody that was forced to become more than just that. Like in the transfer to Kentucky and what ended up changing with the shooting numbers kind of tell a story because
the maturity, Chris.
Right. Yeah, like like you said, somebody got in his ear and said you gotta end up being a better shooter, and that's what ended up changing. Because you're right, this don't look like somebody that's been shooting his whole career. This don't look like somebody that planned on being, a shot specialist, a spot up guy, or someone like somebody that was, like you said, had high used to having the ball in his hand and had to adapt.
And that don't look like somebody who's struggling to dribble either.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
you can't be copying and pasting nobody reports, man. Like, and this isn't even a deep dive we doing. That's the crazy part.
And the crazy part about that was NBADraft.net. Like
nah,
that was
I read some of their reports, Lito. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when I put these reports together for age stuff like that, when I first started doing it, and I was just trying to get my bearings.
Mm-hmm.
You could just kind of tell the difference in who watching and who not. And what I'm watching ain't a dude who's struggling to dribble. I'm just watching the guy who knows he next to Rob Dillingham, who a lottery pick, and he's not gonna see the ball that much. So I got to make the most of my touches, whether I'm catching and shooting or putting it on the deck. And when I got to put it on the deck, I'm comfortable doing that because for a couple of years I did it at a high level, and even though it was at a smaller school.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, what's crazy? My bad. He averaged 20 in 2021. Excuse me, the 2020 season. He averaged 12 points a game, and then I think the coach's point, like he was killing Indiana States and UNIs and all the Ball State, those type of teams. And I think somebody said, "Yeah, let's see if you could do it on a grander stage." He went from 12 points a game to averaging 20 the next season, and he's never stopped averaging 20 since. Like he's been on a tear.
Bucket getter.
Led the team in scoring.
I think that just shows you like a guy that can play multiple roles, right?
Yeah.
Like that. And to Coach's point, like, you get evaluations and you look at them. Like we've only seen highlights. We haven't seen the bad lights, right? We haven't seen the low lights.
Mm-hmm.
But this doesn't tell you like he makes bad decisions, right? Like this doesn't tell you like he's out of place too much. Like even if he does have a turnover here and there, I'm pretty sure he's probably making the right play. I mean, he's playing off of everybody. I think at the next level, he's going to have to play off of everybody. This is tailor-made for him coming in. He's a great value. The shot looks good. It seems like it's going to translate. It's low effort, right? Like he's not over jumping. It's all legs, arms. It's fluid. So I don't see him like struggling. It just, is he going to get enough time to have success at the next level?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I see something with him though, man.
Yeah.
Boom. No, yeah. It's a giant killer, Chris. I like that term.
While we here, man, shout out to Swish NBA. Shout out to Swish culture. Shout out to No Ceilings NBA. Shout out to all the people who did the work. This NBA postseason, putting college stuff together, putting comps together, getting film. Because man, realistically, me and Chris wouldn't have been able to do these shows without y'all. Because it's been a lot to compile, just trying to like get information on guys, and y'all made it like very easy to just take the video up, you know what I'm saying, and just talk about it. And I apologize because a lot of times y'all have really good commentary on it, but we're trying to talk through it ourselves, so we can't really like listen and you know what I'm saying. But shout out to y'all. But anyways, go ahead. I think 5. You was about to say something? You're muted.
My bad. My bad. I already said what I had to say about it. Good.
If anybody out there in the comments, man, if y'all got anything to say, y'all won't chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Pull up. Let us know what you think about Rob. Yeah, Rob a bucket.
Man, he sets his feet really well.
Bang bang.
He sets his feet like really well. Like that. That's
That's
like
a score right there, brother. That's
Yeah.
a score right there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He gonna have some fun in the summer league. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I could see him. I could see him getting a 30 or 40. Because he know what he's doing. Chris, you know I don't remember the player we was talking about, but basically like he knows who he is.
Yeah. Like because that's the thing, man. I both picks, whether you like it or not, whether they were who you would have selected, you can at least see how the skills that they have right now can translate and help what this team currently lacks. They may not do it this season. They may not do it next season, but you at least see the idea. You see the thought process behind the selection. You know what I'm saying? And the film that we watch in matches, okay, if this person is able to pan out, if they continue to elevate, I see what you see in them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's really all you can ask for. You know what I'm saying? And with some of these guys, like if you told me the season, Reeves is playing 10 minutes a game at some point, in the season, that wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't blow me away because again, he is 23. The skill set is there, but it's defined. And his role, I think, starting out, wherever he would have went, whether it was New Orleans or he would have went to Toronto, his role, I think, is kind of defined, and it should be carved out for him already if you're putting him on the floor.
I like the Alec Burks comp, actually. The another thing that I've in these highlights, what I've come to appreciate is he's very under control. Like you really, I don't see anybody speeding him up. You know what I'm saying? Even when it's a chaotic possession, he still finds a comfortable pocket to shoot the ball in. He never looks like out of place, off balance. He's just Antonio Reeves. He knows who he is.
Oh,
bro, oh my God.
Somebody compared him to Ayo with a better shot.
Oh,
that over there in Chicago.
Oh, over there. You right there.
Yeah. I be in these film breakdowns and be forgetting, man.
But doesn't like AO have like elite speed? Like, wasn't that like the thing for him? His ability to get up and down.
He's more athletic. Yeah, he's more athletic.
I really do like the Buddy Hield comp. Like, I don't know why. It's just, how somebody's like I know everybody shoots off 2 feet, but like he feels like he has to be square to shoot this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know how to describe. Like, he has to have his feet square to the basket to shoot, and it's pretty.
Bro, he a mercenary, dog. He is, but I see a lot of Buddy Hield in this game. The pass.
But Chris, you were making a point earlier about just the team's evaluation of these guys, and the more we watch, the more we like. I kind of compare it to like music, right? You don't really know if you like something until you watch it or you listen to it 3, 4, or 5 times. Everything isn't going to be the first time you watch something or look at something or listen to something. You're gonna like it. It's an acquired taste at times. Pause.
Yep.
You gotta put the time in. You gotta watch these dudes and not just fall in love with the measurables. Let's look at some tape and let's look and see if these guys can really hoop against good competition.
So you're trying to look at the
watch what you got to kind of project what they would, if they will fit with what your team wants to do.
Yeah.
Because some people just watch, some people will watch with a cynical eye, and some people will watch to get super hype.
Right.
And I was like, I'd say I was guilty of that with Nikhil. But I was just at a point where I was like, I just want our team to have somebody good because we hadn't had anybody good in a long time. And I was like, damn, Nikhil is good. And I'm kind of cool with his trainer also. So I wanted him to win. I want the Pels to win. But at the end of the day, when you watching these dudes, you gotta don't watch what they are. Like, you can't watch what where he is at Kentucky. You got to watch where he'll probably be for the Pelicans. You can't, obviously we like what we're seeing off the ball and we talking about how he scores and stuff like that. But we alluded to it. He's not going to be asked to do a whole lot of that if he's playing minutes on the main roster.
Right.
So now you got to look at if he has any complementary skills, like how would he look playing next to Zion? Like, oh yeah, he could get a bucket, yes, but Zion's gonna be getting the buckets. He needs to be able to catch and shoot, drop closeouts, hockey assist type stuff, come off screens. Can he do that? And then once you realize that you need to be watching that, then you can start appreciating this process a little bit better.
To that point, you said attack closeouts and drop screens. Drop zones and for one, the catch and shoot is there. But dog, I've seen him shoot 8 to 12 different variations of a floater.
That's what I'm saying. Off balance, straight forward, left, right. You know something else that's that's interesting for a pick like this for a dude with his skill set coming out. You get to learn from CJ McCollum, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like you get to you get to learn from somebody while. He's 6'5", 6'6", and CJ's 6'4", 6'3", but you get to learn from someone who has like mastered the art of what they do, right? Like without having to be super athletic. You could ask him every single question, like what it means to have to play with the level of athletes that you're about to walk into at the next level. And if that don't work, you know what I'm saying? If you're just thinking about making an impact year one, you could talk to Jordan Hawkins, and say, all right, well, this was your role at UConn. Here was your role in the, in the league. What you think you struggle with? What was tough? Like he gets to talk to a decent amount of people that I think can help him and speed him along the curve a little bit quicker just for his position. Now, if he's a center, Missi ain't got me for to walk in the building. He got anybody to talk to and get advice from. He got to go call. He got to talk to retired centers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but Reeves gets to walk in day one and has people currently on the team that he can get advice from and learn from quickly to speed himself up. That may even help his development quicker than we even anticipate.
That's crazy. He asks Hawk questions and he older than Hawk.
Right. Oh man.
That's wild.
Yeah, man. I think I'm really glad to see they traded back, into the second round to get him. Like I think it was a dope move. Shout out to that boy T. He asked me and Mike a question and yesterday about who we were interested in. Mike, I don't remember what your answer was. Who you said you wanted the Pels to get first round?
I said Holmes. I just was looking at. He was a little more polished. He was probably, out of the bigs that was left, that I liked, Holmes was a little more polished offensively. Now he was kind of robotic in his movements.
Yeah,
but
that's a good way to
he
put
was
it.
he was kind of like Reeves in the sense that he's older, so there's a level of maturity there, and you can kind of see the processing in them offensively. You can see that if he got the ball thrown at him in the post and last late shot clock, he can get off a competent basket. He jumped well enough to be a lob threat. So I just thought he was probably the most skilled big of the first rounders that we had left, and I would have liked him, but like I said, I watched enough film on Messi over the last couple of days. I'm convinced that he can help us, and it makes sense.
Yo, did y'all see this play? Did y'all see how he led him? Okay, I'm not even gonna say anything. Just watch it. Just watch it. Give me your thoughts.
Ooh.
Like, that's tough.
Like, it's so simple, but it's not.
That's unscripted too, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a.
You run that back, Lito?
Yeah.
There's a man in Golden State that made them kind of possessing his whole signature, man.
Talk about the boogeyman.
Yeah. That was a beautiful finish too, by the way.
Yeah, it was. Sir.
Now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Tough.
sir, there's so much space he created just off the movement.
What I love about that though, Lito, is probably something most won't even think about. Like Kentucky plays with rules, right? Like there will be no time that a guard would drive and his first thought is to throw behind him.
Yeah,
like, that's almost like a cardinal sin.
Right.
So he knows like he's probably gonna relocate. He like your kick out, your safety valve is to your left, to your side, to the corner. If at anything, he's got to be right there. So to be patient as the guard, it's like, all right, before I swing this cross court to anybody else, let me at least look this way before I do so. And I think that's pretty. That's like the IQ is there for him, right? Like to be playing in a system where, hey, this is what we do. This is what I'll be looking for if I were to get trapped right here. They probably done it a couple hundred times. And that's the result that you'll get, man.
I like this effort right here, 5.
Yeah, man. Hey, to play on the court in Kentucky, man, you got to scrap for stuff.
I mean, again, like I think 5 mentioned someone who's gonna like he should translate well at some point in the league, period, just because you could tell he's played a bunch of different roles and should be able to adapt.
Yeah.
And he should be able to adapt
I'm going to split catch in and out.
Let me run that back.
I didn't know he had this type of creation. And it's not like it's a crazy amount of dribbling.
Split catch in and out. That's disgusting.
Lito, you got
split. Bye.
What's up?
All the comments say that they want to see some defense.
I want to see some defense. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think he got none.
Hey man, we don't worry about defense no more, man.
We don't do that no more. Don't do that no more.
Don't worry about that no more.
So I'm playing that with Missy anyway.
Yeah, you got enough people on this team to play defense, bro. We ain't scored 100 points in a playoff game like in 4 attempts. You need some offense.
You're gonna watch these buckets, you're gonna like it.
Let me see some.
Nice.
Just to create that space right there, though, man. Bink.
Man. Tell you, man, he knows what a closing defender is at all times.
Brother,
that looks like CJ McCollum right there.
Yeah, the pin down, the read, yeah.
Little pocket dribble to the floater. That's CJ all the way.
Tough. I've seen some really we talk about the threes, we talk about the floaters. Seen some really good finishes at the rim. Look, dog. Hold up, dog. Hold up.
But then he won't be able to run that in New Orleans.
Hold up, dog.
He won't be.
Hold up, dog.
Look how he's floppy.
Hey.
Oh my god.
Set him up.
Oh my god.
But will they run something like that for him? They don't run that for Jordan Hawkins. They don't run that for CJ, really. Like Trey. Matter of fact, they said Trey got to get his in the floor of the offense.
Ooh. Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Man, dog, he finished around the rim like somebody who had a growth spurt or something, man. Like he ain't used to being like 6'6".
Dog.
Like
he just woke up.
He woke up one day, yeah. Like like he was 6'1" one day and just was like, oh, okay, I'll go to Kentucky now. I'm 6'6". Like
I'm two more highlight plays away from calling him a 3-level scorer. I
we gonna have to turn this film off. It's about to get
I'm about to call him an NBA All-Star. Like
too much of one thing.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The best thing you could be as a prospect is like Ray Allen, where you have a real good. If you're a scorer,
Mm,
you can lean on having a real good catch and shoot game,
yep.
because we know because we older and we watch basketball, but a lot of people's idea of Ray Allen was what he was in Boston and Miami,
Yeah.
which was a spot up guy, come off screens, forgetting that
Right.
he had that pretty jumper like when he was getting 25, 27 a game, getting it off the
When he had
dribble,
money.
dunking on people,
Yeah.
mid range, reverses and stuff like that.
What happened, Five?
No, go back. He read the screen so well, bro. It was a dive to the rim. Oh my god, probably like two plays back.
If y'all in the comments, if y'all not
It's might be right
understanding,
here.
we just like
Oh.
smart basketball, man. We just
Yeah.
like fun smart basketball and watching players make plays and and Tom is like, yeah, that's
Here
the
you
one. I think it's this one right here. Yeah.
Like
And he efficient with it, dog. Like that's the thing. He efficient with it. Good screen manipulation. Like he just you know what it is? He just a professional. He a professional bucket getter.
Now you got two of them on your roster.
Yeah, fact. That's facts. Good finish. Curl.
Nice.
Slow game, tough.
Float,
Yeah.
jump off the left foot, shoot it with the right. Like
he a marksman with that floater, bro.
Duh.
I think the stats on floaters were on the year 52 or 98.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
So probably about 52% on them mugs. And he not just like running straight at the basket. He curling, he driving off, wrong
Left.
foot off the glass, going away from the basket, both ways,
He got
taking contact. That right there.
Different
Left foot,
angles,
right hand.
like
Left foot, right hand. Yeah,
exactly.
He played in the park, dog. He played in the
Oh,
park.
yeah, absolutely. On double rim.
Oh,
Yeah. He played in the park.
I'm about to
This
say
ain't-
I can
this
speak to
ain't
that
regular.
now. All right.
Hey,
Yeah,
this ain't no gym kid. He been
No,
outside.
that's straight
Outside.
Napoleon the magazine right there, brother.
For real.
Look,
Pour
man.
them
Of
rings,
Sony
tell
at Park. And that's why big fella need to go ahead and get his jumper right, because if you got good floater touch, you can develop that into a good jump shot touch.
Yep.
Man, I pray he working on his game. That's
It's
all
no
I pray.
coincidence that CJ has good flow game, Steph got good flow game, Clay got good flow game.
This ain't about Golden State, Mike. But let me ask you.
You're right,
let me
my
ask
fault.
everybody a
My
question.
fault.
No. I want to know.
Need a boogeyman out of it.
No. What y'all think they're gonna do with Clay?
I don't know.
I think he got to walk, man.
Yeah, Clay got bounced.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he got to walk.
They can't run that back. Not with the West improving like it is.
If I'm Clay, I try to get to Orlando, man. That just
What?
seems
No
like
question.
it
Yeah,
just
there you
seems like
go.
an easier thing to do. Like, all right, yeah, it's the East Coast. You're still in the water, bro. You can take your yacht out. And just you won't be asked to do much, right? They'll need you though. Like
But they still need you.
They'll still need you. You'll be the smartest person in the building, bar none. Like with the most experience, they'll have to listen to you. They'll want to listen to you. Something that you probably didn't get when you were in Golden State.
And you give them a chance to, just play on that team. You can guard Boston a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Banchero can defend, Suggs gonna be able to defend, Clay can still defend. The Wagner kid can defend. You can match up a little bit
Anthony Black.
differently.
Anthony
You know,
Black, yeah. Anthony Black, like he locked shit up.
Oh
too.
shit! Then we didn't even name Jonathan Isaac.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah.
hey,
I mean,
hey,
Goddamn Plastic Man.
what do you think about a Jonathan Isaac Missy comparison?
I thought about it, but I think Isaac moved a little bit better than him naturally, like, especially when it's time to go on the perimeter.
Man,
yeah.
that Republican can hoop. I'm telling you,
that
that dude can hoop, bro. I don't care what your political affiliation is. That dude can hoop, man.
Hold on, man.
Yeah, Isaac covers ground, bro, like a linebacker, dog. It's like an elite linebacker. He covers ground in space. Like
the
something
lateral,
crazy, man.
it's the lateral stuff. Like how you get from the corner to the wing or the opposite. Like it's like Herb.
It don't even look like he moving that fast. That's the thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It don't
Should
even
be
like
fair to be that long and still be that, that quick. With the wingspan
man.
and the legs, like it's crazy.
Isaac, like people gotta know Isaac ain't like he close to being like one of them type of defenders that you only see every 10 years, bro.
It's just help, bro. Like,
and this is after multiple knee surgeries. Like he's not normal.
Yeah.
For real.
No
he's
question.
Not,
he ain't got much body weight either, so the shake back's probably easy.
Relocation.
It's like a spread. It's just a quick trigger. It's like 2 seconds.
Stampede catch. That's tough.
Hey, what's one of y'all think early shooters find shooters?
Hold on. Yeah, that was me. Nah, Sip. You about to be teaching. What the hell is a stampede catch? We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk
let's
about
run
this.
it back.
What the hell?
It's kind of like when you're off the ball and you see your defender's not on the, if he's too far and helping, you got a gap you can drive. You kind of like get a running start before the ball gets to your hand.
Okay, here.
I think this is it right here.
Yeah.
See, that's a stampede catch. Tyrese Maxey do that a lot. If you watch Tyrese Maxey, he do that a whole lot.
Yeah, like that.
I mean, Jose do a lot of stampede catches too.
Dog,
you know we learning basketball terms here.
Like, where else you go get that from?
Yeah, in the language you like it, bro. Like, I'll be honest with y'all. I don't know everything about basketball, but when I talk to somebody that do, I'm about to ask. Like,
there you go.
What?
A stampede catch. Now you're not gonna forget it.
No.
That's tough.
Man.
School. That's me.
Yeah, that's me. You see me over here. Yo, you're. Oh, that's tough.
Oh, unbalanced. Shoulder
swell.
Probably the first unbalanced shot I seen him shoot too.
Hey, bro, some people just need their shoulders right, man. That's it.
I'm saying, man, we 2 hours in, man. Nobody seemed like they had nobody wanted to get on stage and talk about that, man. Anybody got any questions in the comments real quick? We'll go. What y'all got, like 5 more minutes, y'all think?
Yep.
5 more minutes, man. Y'all got any questions? We got Coach Sip up here. Y'all got any basketball related questions, any Pels questions? Holler at us, man. Let me see. I'll start going through some comments right now. See. I think this for Chris. There you go, Chris. Who you think better out of Missy and Trey Jemison?
I don't get it, bro.
I don't know what you did.
Jemison moves like a stack of suitcases, man. like you, it's so bad, bro. Like it's not even close, bro.
You fall.
It's not even
Let's
close.
go, brother.
You fall.
That's awesome.
You fall. How do you even think about that? You sick. You a sick individual.
He is, bro.
Suitcases, cool, man.
A stack up, man.
Shout out to Joe, man. I think
that was just picturing this man a stack of suitcases, just
like how
just wobbling,
bro. How
before they hit the ground.
Comparison you go to is you compare him to some luggage. Like I don't even understand.
Yeah, he
Oh
he
man,
packed he packed his ass the hell up out of New Orleans, and he ain't gonna be in Memphis very long. I'm telling you, he gonna be overseas delivering mail and playing and he listen, he probably a real nice person too, bro.
no
I
comment.
wish
I'm
him
cool with his
well.
agent, man. I'm gonna stay away
Yeah,
from this.
yeah. I wish him well. I
Oh,
wish
that's
him
funny as
well,
hell though,
man.
man.
I wish
You ain't got
him
no
well. I
sense,
really
bro.
do. I wish him well. I really do.
Hey, Sip,
Uh,
I'm gonna ask you a basketball question. How about this? We've watched this offense kind of sputter for the last, let's say 4 or 5 years at this point. Probably longer. What's something that they should start looking into, or like what's the thing that you think that they can just get better at to kind of help simplify things or maybe advance things a little bit better?
I think y'all talked about it a lot. Just like like figuring out what the identity is, because when Coach Green first got here, it was point 0.5. If you don't have a play in half a second, get off of it. Wanted to try to do that Spurs, Golden State, Phoenix Suns ball movement thing, and then it didn't work because you don't have your main guys to create advantages for you to be able to play that point 0.5 basketball. And then you went to point Zion, which is what Stan Van Gundy said worked the best, but you don't have Zion available, so you can't go point Zion, so you put the ball in BI hands. It just was too much uncertainty, too much, you know, unavailability with your stars. Um, and and I I'm like y'all where I think that the offense, I mean not the offense, but coach need to lean a little bit more offensive, especially after what we just saw with the Reeve boy, Hawk having another year under his belt. Trade probably getting a bigger role because I think Slim gonna get traded more than likely. Um, it, if Slim is traded and Borrego is back, I think we're gonna see better offense. Um, only because you're gonna be able to put guys on the floor who are willing catch and shoot guys. That's what they naturally do. But I think just to answer your question, five, lean a little bit more offensive. If you can still, I think you can still feel like a real good defensive team, but that probably needs to be like a top 10 defensive team, top 12 defensive team, and see if you can get that offense inside the top 10 with some of the pieces that you got. So coaches probably got to be a little bit less stubborn with 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 the percentage of offense to defense. Get a little bit more offense. I'd say probably like 70% offense, 30% defense. Like you can have Herb on the court, you can have Trey on the court. Zion showed you what he could do defensively. You can still have some lethal offensive guys and still get them moving around defensively how you want.
For sure. Appreciate it, Coach.
Let's see, man.
Already.
I got they got some. Let's see. Bob, you think will JV rebound and be missed more than we think?
Hell yeah. I mean, well, to this, I mean, the detriment has already been set. I mean, the Pels were taking JV off the court in the second half, and you saw you got out rebounding in second halves. So, what you think is going to happen when he's gone for the entirety of a season? Like, not just a season, forever at this point. Yeah, it'll hurt.
Yeah.
I think we mismanaged. Well, the team mismanaged JV, and not bringing him back probably hurt you even worse because you don't have a center on the roster. So, I don't know. I don't know what the Pelicans are going to do right now.
Chris, do you think the Spurs have a better trade package for Trey right now?
I think the Spurs can put together a good offer, but I don't think it could beat the Pelicans' best offer. Like realistically speaking, like I don't believe that. Like let's say, I think one of the most important factors, if the Pelicans do any deal with the Hawks, but let's say it is Trey, they have a player that Atlanta has already coveted and been really interested in it. And we're talking about a centerpiece for a kind of deal like this. When outside of like Brandon will be involved, but Herb Jones, right? Like I don't think that if you had to make a move like that, the Spurs would be able to match the type of different array of players that the Pelicans can kind of throw in on top of all the other shit that you're going to want, young talents, prospects, future picks, all those different things. So no, not really, but that doesn't mean that the Spurs don't have a good option or a good offer to throw out themselves.
Real. This is not a question, but thank you, Reed. Though we appreciate you too. We appreciate all y'all. We appreciate everybody pulling up. We wouldn't be here without y'all. You know what I'm saying? Coach, you just spoke to this. So the question is, y'all think we should have got rid of BI? You just said you probably think, he gets traded this summer.
Yeah, and it sucks because I think the team, more than anything, the Team USA experience probably hurt him more than the last 4 games. Last 4 games is going to be the lasting image, but you can always say like, oh, well, he came back early off injury, he wasn't himself. Because I don't think Lou Dort is that good of a defender. Right. I do think injury played a part in it, but the Team USA thing really hurt because that might have, coaches talk. So if he struggled playing in a different role, and then he struggled playing in a different role with his current team, you talk about asking him to increase his 3-point volume. Some of the stuff he said in his press conference about we need a point guard, even though in the beginning of the season he was excited that he was going to have the ball in his hands a little bit more because of the Borrego offense. We got by on talent a lot. It just kind of feel that Slim might not be back, and you can't say, oh, we should have got rid of him earlier, because you had to give it one more chance with him and Zion together, especially considering how Zion played 70 games. You gotta get some kind of sample size. It just a matter. I think it just kind of went too long and it ended bad. But I don't think we should have got rid of him. But I do think that he's probably on the way out though.
I agree with that, and I think the thing that people gotta understand is like obviously people have fans and people are stands, and this is nothing to do with what we believe Brandon's skill is. It's just a matter of fit.
Yeah.
So 5. Should the Pels start using floppy plays more to get shooters open and it looks that they want?
See, this is my point of view just about offense. Like it's not like elbow didn't work. Let's not misconstrue that. Like that's an offense that a lot of teams like it's a lot of teams use this offense. I think the Pelicans don't know what they're looking for, in my opinion. They never get easy buckets off of elbow or however they look at it. To be honest, I think they should look at like more like Spain pick and roll. They should look into side pick and roll. That way their best offensive guys can create advantages. And off of those motions, you probably can get movement backside to get guys open, like Trey Murphy or Jordan Hawkins. Anybody else they can kind of create their own. So that's kind of how I see it. It's not necessarily just one particular offense. If they ran floppy, that'd be cool too. It's just understanding like what you're looking for when you run these plays.
Mm-hmm.
I really like 5's point there about elbow, right? We made jokes about it, about the set and everything, but I mean,
that's it.
Every like how often Kawhi Leonard gets elbow sets run for him in the Clippers. Like it's one of his, a good majority of the highlights you go watch on Kawhi. If we're talking game to game, it's gonna be elbow. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched Klay Thompson run a hell of a lot of elbow sets. You know what I'm saying? I watched Kevin Durant run a whole bunch of almost. To be fair, almost any good mid-range shooter on the go that you could think of at some point, they're gonna make some money off of elbow sets. I mean, it's just and it should be in any playbook with any kind of team, that you have with a person with that kind of skill set. I mean, but to 5's point, more variety to match some of the, like when you have some of the guys like if you just simply say, let's say you pick CJ Trey, and Jordan Hawkins. And you can even throw Zion out of the the equation here. There's so many different type of varieties of things that you can throw out on the move to use their strengths on the go. When we're talking about from a creativity perspective, that you just you look forward to seeing more. There were talks about when Borrego joined, how much more angle pick and roll that you end up seeing. Well, it didn't change much. It didn't change to to the level that we thought it would. That may go, if you think that comes down to personnel or some of the improvements that certain guys need in regards to technique, that's a different story. But you have some of the right, I think, players and skill sets in that locker room as you currently stand right now to be more creative than you are. But this isn't an indictment on just like, on elbow. Yeah, I mean, that's around the league. Some of your favorite players. Mike ran elbow, Kobe ran elbow. Like, it's going to be around forever.
To piggyback on that, like, Dallas Mavericks essentially run a horn set. I mean, they don't run it as low as the Pelicans do, but they run a horn set just like the Pelicans do. It's just higher, right? And they have guys like Luka and Kyrie that can shoot from distance. That's really the distance. That's really the difference, right? Like having guys that can shoot from deep and pass out of that. The Pelicans just don't. So they need to find something that kind of mimics their skill set rather than just running something that they think that's going to work.
I think they need to just get a little more variety with how they get Zion his touches. I think if you're gonna ask Zion to be a facilitator, then don't just ask him to facilitate from the top of the key and just mash his way to the glass and pass the ball, or get him at the free throw line and bully his way and pass the ball. Put him in the mid post, and now you can run Hawk and Trey or Hawk and CJ, or Trey and CJ off some splits like Golden State. They run a set where they enter to the post and Hawk loops out for a three above the break. There was some stuff that they ran. They love that ghost screen, flare screen action with Trey and Hawk. They run the hell out of that. CJ too, and they were running it with Zion. Seeing if his man will help on the screener, and now Zion can drive it to the cup. So I just think that unless you're gonna have a point guard orchestrating it and getting people in spots to run stuff, and then I don't think we're a really good screening team either. JV got so many illegal screens, Larry got so many illegal screens, BI and Herb, they just too light to even make contact. Trey also.
Yeah.
So you can't run floppy if nobody making contact on screens anyway. But even still, to your point, playing to your personnel and skill sets, put the ball in the post to Zion and dare people to help off of it. And now let Zion spray it to people, spray it to shooters.
I think a post split with Zion is ridiculous.
Money.
Oh my God.
Why Zion can't play on the right block and spin baseline and throw that drift pass for a hammer screen, to somebody in the corner?
Hey, this is beautiful.
I mean, and a Herb specialty in here. When we're talking about, think about how many hammer screens Herb set for Trey, for example, or CJ throughout the year. We was like, man, that's just smart basketball. And I don't know. And you talked about it gives when you're watching it on film, it looks like that's just Herb's instinct. Now imagine if that's something that's practiced where multiple guys are running it, and it's part of your DNA offensively.
Yeah, like imagine Herb being in that corner, and then they he sets the screen. That's Trey. And if they overcorrected Trey, that's Hawk getting a swing. It's just basketball, man. And God damn, I just want to see it played well in New Orleans, dog. Like that's frustrating to think about. It's like I'm not a coach. I just think that's just something they should have already thought about, right?
Hey, look.
It should, yeah.
Hey, look, only on Propels Talk do you get a question and you get a 10-minute answer about actions. You know what I'm saying? You get shout out to these brothers on the podcast for being knowledgeable enough to answer the question. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that I will add to that is rotation and lineups matter to me in the elbow set specifically, because if there's not enough spacing around, it really doesn't matter. You've seen, BI with the box and one. You've seen, Zion with the like, if you taking, we spoke about this at length. If you taking Zion out, you putting Trey in, it's not gonna matter like what actions you're running. But let's see, Chris, do you think that Trey is the only move left to be made, or you think it's better options?
I think Trey may be more of a higher preference than if I would say is necessarily the best option. There's probably better options that we're not considering that they could configure. You know what I'm saying? And filling out the roster and addressing multiple needs and parties. But no, I don't think Trey Young is the only move. He may be at the top of my list at this point, or or others' list, but there's definitely options that we're not considering. And fuck even saying better options. There are just other aggressive options to make.
Yeah.
There are other aggressive options that show purpose, right? That show direction and show what exactly you're going for. Now, I'm not even the one at this point that has said that they're gonna be aggressive or have been alone in asking them. David Griffin himself said that they were gonna be aggressive. Well, he said that for the past 3 years. At some point, when you are being aggressive, you have to execute off of that aggression. If you don't execute off of the aggression, then I am going to assume that you are not 100% being truthful in your intention. And that could be unfair, but I don't believe that it is, man. I don't believe that it is. You can't tell me multiple years in a row how aggressive you're going to be, how much better that you have to get. And when I'm watching, and I'm just giving an example, I'm watching Minnesota trade a 2030 pick to get into the top 10 to draft Rob Dillingham. That's just one example. I'm not saying the Pelicans should have done it, but there are ways to make this happen if you want to. It's just a matter of, will you let your greed, your pride, or your ego stand in the way at this point? Or are you comfortable with just marginal growth? I mean,
Yeah, I don't really even think. I think that's just it. Like,
we done?
Yeah, I think that, like, I don't even know how
we done.
Chris was like, how you gonna be how you gonna say you want to be aggressive if you don't have no aggression? Like, you was just like, you keep talking about it, you know what I'm saying? Show something. But listen, man, I got nothing left, man. Mike, tell them where you can find you at.
FDLHoops.com. You got some hoops that need they film evaluated, holla at your mans. I just gave you an example of how I do my scouts by with y'all inviting me on this broadcast, brother. It was a blessing. But come catch me at Lake Point this weekend. Lake Point is in Acworth, Georgia. I'll be watching the high schoolers hoop, get some content created, man. Just keeping the main thing, brother.
Oh yeah. Let me know when them shirts come out, Mike. I gotta buy one of them. You gotta put that on a shirt. That gotta be a shirt, dog.
Hey, Five, Chris, y'all.
I got me a fitted hat lady, man. I'm probably put on a fitted.
Oh, I need
that. Me a plug out here.
You got you a plug? What?
Hold on, me and Five gotta holler at you because we
old black lady name is Angie, man. She making my film no lie hats. She legit with it.
Me and Five gotta. She got some.
Shout out to Miss Angie.
Shout out to Miss Angie, man. But yeah, man. Listen, man. Before we get out of here, I want to say this, man. Shout out to us. I'm about to give us flowers because we've been working hard, man. It's been a lot of late nights. You know what I'm saying? A lot of early mornings of trying to figure out, like, what we do just want to provide content. The Pelican season was over in April, and we ain't stopped making. We ain't stopped working. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in June now, and hopefully, the postseason. Free agency does give us something to talk about. But man, we've been just trying to, like, work. So again, if y'all got anything y'all want to talk about, y'all want us to talk about, put it in the comments, leave a comment, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Man, that's it, man. Peace. We out. Appreciate y'all.
Peace out, y'all.
No more good humor.